students who have set up a pro-Palestinian encampment at McMaster University say they plan to stay until their demands are met. Those demands are similar to the many other pro-Palestinian campus protests across Canada and the U.S. They want MAC to divest from any Israeli companies with ties to the war. Hadi Azad is live just outside the fencing where the encampment is located with more on this. Good evening, Hadi.
Thanks, Matt. Well, earlier today I spoke to an organizer at this encampment, and he says more people are coming out to support. Now I'm going to get out of the way here so you can get a better look at what the encampment looks like. So there are over 30 tents and around 100 people. The people at the encampment say they have their sleeping bags and other supplies set, and they say they're not going anywhere until they get what they want.
The investment in the war machine.
We're all here to fight for a liberated Palestine and standing against all systems of oppression and dismantling all systems of apartheid, including the Israeli apartheid and the occupation of the Palestinian people.
Students and some staff set up more than 30 tents at the Burke Science Building field over the weekend.
We're here to stay out indefinitely. Until McMaster listens to our demands, we're not going anywhere.
The protesters have laid out several demands related to the ongoing crisis in the Middle East, most of which are focused on calling schools to divest from any Israeli organization with ties to the war. The students are also calling the university to end its research collaborators and partnerships with academic institutions in Israel. Hamilton Centre's independent member of provincial parliament Sarah Jama and Hamilton NDP MP Matthew Green have both attended the encampment.
These students have chosen very specifically this direct action as a way to peacefully protest and engage their post-secondary institutions on the way in which this university and others may be engaging or be complicit with some of the atrocities that are unfolding in Palestine.
Green was linking this protest to past encampment protests on campuses throughout history, like those in South Africa. In a statement, McMaster University says, in part, universities have a long history with protests, which, when peacefully done, reinforce and support our culture of freedom of expression. McMaster is committed to an environment where this can be achieved without compromising the safety and security of students, faculty, and staff. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said he's not in favor of these encampments and that universities have to move these people along.
Well, again, I've heard from parents, I've heard from students, they don't feel safe going through there, so they need to move on.
Ken Stone, the treasurer at the Hamilton Coalition to Stop the War, says this encampment is peaceful.
This is a genocide that's taking place in real time. Actually, everybody should feel uncomfortable about that. I feel uncomfortable about that. I'm Jewish, actually, and I don't support what the state of Israel is doing there.
I reached out to a McMaster student group that's dedicated to creating a safe space for Jewish students and haven't heard back. Meanwhile, McMaster says they're keeping a close eye on the situation.